Hello everybody, so this video is going to be all about my first week with my off-track thoroughbred born at the track. So I went to work this day, I went to his stall, had a little chat with him about what was going to happen. It was a pretty normal day. I was in a pretty good mood, obviously, because I was going to be bringing home a new horse, so that's pretty exciting. He loaded into the trailer really nicely. I didn't get a video of that, but there was nothing really to see. He just kind of hopped in. He also trailered really quietly, so that's a bonus because I think that I'll be doing quite a bit of trailering him to new places, so that was really nice. He unloaded awesome too. He was not very dramatic about a new place, which is also a really nice thing. For the first few days, I just had him in a paddock, a larger paddock by himself. He could see the other geldings across the driveway, but he was just alone. I just wanted him to relax and settle in before throwing him in with the other boys. At the racetrack, as well as at the farm where I work, where the racehorses just come for a week or two for a break, and then they spend the winter there. The horses are on a really strict schedule. They're in their stalls for the majority of the time. They go out into a small paddock by themselves for a couple hours, and then they're sometimes on the equicizer, the hot walker. So I wanted to really just put him into a whole new lifestyle and see if he really relaxed before doing anything with him. And the barn manager didn't really expect him to chill out, but he is loving the new life. He is totally relaxed and happy. Horses like to just be horses sometimes, especially in a herd setting, so that was a big change, but definitely for the better for him. A few days after he arrived, I decided to do a little bit of work with him. I'm trying to introduce him to this new life pretty slowly and softly, because he is supposed to be more of a troublemaker. Not a troublemaker, but he's, got a big personality and can be a little wild, apparently. I've never seen him be too bad, but apparently at the track he is not the easiest to deal with. Although since he's been here, he's totally chilled out, so maybe that's just, the environment, and hopefully he's happier. I didn't really do a whole lot with him this day. Like I said, I'm going to try and do everything pretty slowly and relaxed, because if you're rushing things, you're just asking for trouble. One of the main things I make sure to always work on with him is just that he's respecting me and listening to me, especially on the ground. Well, I haven't been on him yet, but on the ground, because he is a big horse. He's powerful, and he's usually pretty crazy even just to lead, but you can tell he's pretty relaxed in these videos, totally different. So I stop him a lot and back him just to make sure that he's respecting my space. Which at first, the first couple days, I don't have video of, but he was kind of all over the place, didn't even pay any attention to me, but he has gotten a lot better. Also, this is a horse who has only ever been led with a chain over his nose, or even a lip chain. So even just being led with a rope halter or a leather halter and a lead rope is a lot different, and something that he definitely has to adjust to. I tied him up in the arena for a couple minutes before doing anything with him, just to see how he would act. He was a little fidgety, but he didn't do anything too terrible. A horse can learn a lot just by sitting still and being left alone tied. I'm not saying for hours at a time, but it doesn't do any harm, because they learn that they can wait and it's not the end of the world. So I just went ahead and brushed him, trying to keep him comfortable, but also making sure he knows that he can't just walk all over me. He's not going to be able to push me around, because these horses, take advantage of you if you let them. But also if you treat them like they're a monster, they're also probably going to act like a monster. So, I think it has to be a mutual respect thing, definitely. I mean, if a horse doesn't respect you, then you're in trouble, but he was really good to be brushed. He's obviously been brushed a lot as a racehorse. They're brushed, maybe even more than a performance horse. He did pull back at one part, and that's probably going to make some people not very happy, because a lot of people think that you should tie a horse up to a, something that can break. I definitely don't think that works in anybody's benefit, because you get broken halters and a horse that knows they can get away if they pull back. He settled down really quickly. I was pretty impressed, and he didn't pull back again. So, I mean, a horse just learning that he can't get away from pressure, and that if he gives in, everything's okay. Nothing's killing him. He's fine. People are probably going to have different opinions on that, but my horses need to be tied and have to be securely tied, especially at rodeos and stuff. Anyway, in this clip, I'm just putting a different halter on him because I am lunging him, and it's a lot harder to attach a lunge line to a rope halter when the lead rope is attached to the halter. So I'm just changing his halters, and he was awesome for that. Didn't try to run away. Obviously, I was a little precautious, but he was great. So with the lunging in this video, I'm not lunging him for exercise. I'm not to that point yet, but I'm more just trying to get him used to my cues, because this is a horse who has been lunged before. He knows what lunging is. He knows how to do it, but he has probably been lunged in quite a different way than I'm going to be doing it. I mean, everybody has slightly different cues, so he just needs to learn that. I was actually really impressed by his saneness, especially because there was a stud colt running around on the outside of the arena that he couldn't see, but he could hear. I thought he would have way more energy, but he was actually really chill, and it was actually at times hard to get him even trotting. I did only do walk and trot today because, like I said, I'm not doing it for exercise this time. I'm just doing it to get him used to me, get him used to, our schedule that we're going to be having, and our routine, and what I need him to do by what I'm telling him, like what my cues mean. He caught on pretty quickly. At the beginning of the video, you can definitely see that he doesn't know what I mean when I'm trying to stop him. I think he just wasn't paying attention. But by the end of the video, he's stopped without any pressure on the lunge line at all, just by my words and body language, which I was really impressed by, because like I said, I thought he'd have a lot more energy. I thought it was going to be a lot harder to get him to stop than it was to get him to get going, but it was kind of the other way around. I mean, the stopping at the beginning was a little bit of a mess, and the reversing was also a little difficult for him at first to get used to, because I think, for one thing, I'm lunging him with just the lunge line attached to the center ring below his chin, and he has probably only been lunged with the lunge line on one side, and so he probably wasn't reversed on the lunge line. He was probably somebody came up to him, switched the lunge line around, and then started to go on the other direction. So I'm not surprised that he didn't understand me when I was trying to get him to reverse, but again, he did learn pretty quickly what it meant. We did have a few little hiccups at times, but nothing too dramatic. He has a good mind. I think a lot better of a mind than other handlers of him have thought. I don't really know why. I think getting fed really high energy food definitely plays a major role in why he was so crazy, because even now, I just have him on only hay right now, actually. He's an easy keeper, but I will be adding grain once I start bringing him in at night. He is just out in the field 24/7 because, like I said, I just want him to relax and realize that life doesn't have to be so you know, go, 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 strict, this is what you do at this time, you know, you're stuck in your stall for the majority of the day. I find stalls are not beneficial for a lot of horses. My mare does love to come in at night, and I wouldn't keep her out all night because she doesn't like that. But, you know, it is good for a horse just to be a horse sometimes. And like I said, it's definitely worked in his favor. He is a different horse than I was used to seeing, which is also probably why I look like I'm being a little bit too cautious of him. But I think, you know, you can never instill too much respect in a horse. So it's better to be overcautious than not enough. I did only lunge him for a few minutes. I tried to keep this video as uncut as possible to show really what it's like, or what it can be like, because every horse is different. But he was really good, so I only did it for a few minutes. After that, I just put him away. I didn't do anything crazy. I didn't want to, you know, I didn't do anything that he hadn't done before. And because he's in a new place, it was all new because he's in a new place, a whole new setting. And so I didn't want to throw anything too overwhelming at him. I tried to keep it all calm. He was a little bit high-strung. He was a little bit nervous about being in the arena, but he did handle everything really well. So I'm really happy with how he did this week, and next week he'll be getting his feet done, and then I'll probably be doing some more serious training with him and definitely be riding him. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Lost my dog. My dog ran away for the entire length that I was filming that video, but look who decided to show up. Hey, buddy. Hey, girl.